Hey, in this video, you're going to discover how to get more reviews on Amazon fast in a TOS compliant and automated way. And today I'm accompanied by Troy Johnston, who's a 7-figure earner and also co-founder of Seller.Tools, which is a suite of tools that helps Amazon sellers launch products on Amazon, get more reviews, and a bunch of other stuff that helps Amazon sellers. So Troy, may you please introduce yourself to us? I know you have some cool stuff to share with us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. Yeah. And as you mentioned, I'm a seller myself. Started back now about 5 years ago. So I've been selling on Amazon for quite some time. After selling some brands, I moved on to consulting, advising for different brands on Amazon. And now my main focus is on the Seller.Tools platform, which, as you mentioned, we focus on ranking, reviews, really what you're doing to grow your business as an Amazon seller. That's really where our features lie. And same goes with what we're touching on today. Getting more Amazon reviews, definitely a focal point and something you should be spending a lot of time on.
Yeah, welcome to the channel today, to the show. And yeah, I'm excited for the new feature because, as I mentioned in the beginning, it's automated and TOS compliant, and I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, man. Let's see what it's all about. Can you please show it to us, explain to us? I think it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Yep. Let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll go ahead and dive into what I've got ready as we are releasing this brand new feature. And again, it's centered all around Amazon reviews. And two, as you've touched on, this is really focusing on terms of service compliance, ease of setup, completely automated. This is something where, as you can imagine, if we could have had this 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 2 years ago, we would definitely use that magic wand, put this to use to really start getting reviews on autopilot. So that's what I'll be focusing on, touching on, and making sure we share with you how to get access. So again, the importance of Amazon reviews, this is something that I like to touch on, but it's kind of a given, right? If you're selling on the Amazon marketplace, no matter where you're selling in the world, reviews are absolutely crucial. It's really the lifeblood of Amazon and success on the platform. And we see this proven time and time again when it comes to even a survey completed on the most recent Prime Day, the most successful Prime Day ever, of course, as it tends to be the case year over year, that approximately 8 out of 10 Prime Day customers shared that reviews play a big role in their purchase decisions. Now, that's always our assumption as sellers. We always think that, but this validation really reinforces the importance of reviews in our business, in the success of our brand, and even just our bottom line, the revenue we're generating on the platform. Now, quality matters. We, of course, want to focus on 5-star reviews, but as we know too, there are categories where the quantity is as equally, if not more important. So this is, again, when you look at ways in which you can kind of flip a switch, more easily capture more reviews, you have to really welcome both those highly desirable 5-star reviews. But then certain segments, we know this all too well as sellers, it comes with the territory. If you're going to come in there and play against some of the top players, those owning first page, more often than not, the quantity is as equally important a factor in the equation. And then traffic without conversions, as we look at our unit session percentage data, our conversion rates, really seeing how that traffic is performing. We see the effectiveness of external traffic, these ways in which we can drive customers to our product detail page, which are great for the ranking benefit. But if it doesn't translate into conversions, it doesn't hit our bottom line. And this is really where conversions in the form of social proof, that's what reviews really help us with, whether it's a video review, image, a long form review, or again, that quantity of reviews. We know this, right? This is kind of a given as an Amazon seller, how crucial it is in that equation. It's traffic and conversions, that sort of digital marketing, those important points of emphasis where we welcome the abundance of customers coming into and viewing our detail page, hopefully then converting, translating into a sale. So our aim and what is most desirable for us as sellers is to capture Amazon reviews in this fashion. If it's, again, 100% automated, where we can kind of set it and forget it. It is truly terms of service compliant. We're going to touch on this a little bit more as it pertains to the different ways that we can use this feature and the ways that we present it and make it available through Seller.Tools. But that's an immensely important point as there's more questions, as there's more uncertainty with different ways of asking for reviews. different strategies that involve different ways of getting review requests into customers' hands, and that compliance can't be understated in terms of its importance. And again, it's always beautiful when it's only about 60 seconds to set up. When it's easy, flip a switch, and fully automated, that's always desirable too, right? Always
Fast and
great
easy,
when
man.
that's the case. Yeah, we like to keep it easy, right? We're sellers. We've got a ton of different things. We should always be launching products. We should always be winning more keywords. So as reviews are even that important in the overall equation, always better when it is made easier. So with that, I'm ready to dive right in because, again, we could spend a lot of time reinforcing, doubling down on the importance of Amazon reviews, but it's a given. Most of us as sellers absolutely know it. So this is why I'm excited to share with you Request Review. It entails and encompasses the things that we've touched on. And as you will see, the automation, the TOS compliance, and the ease of setup is something that I'm sure a large number of sellers are absolutely going to fall in love with. So let's hop over and we will jump into the Seller.Tools dashboard that I have pulled up here. First and foremost, where can you find this brand new feature? It's going to be in the Seller.Tools navigation, and it is aptly named Review Request. And that's literally what this tool does. And let's break down how you can set it up and put it to use. Now, first and foremost, we want to enable this feature. That one click, just simply by turning it on, will send out review requests for you, completely automated. From that step alone, you could literally stop there and have the machine running in the background requesting reviews. What we can also do in this dashboard is monitor that activity and then filter down the type of review requests that we actually send out. And you can see the type of control that you can add here right in the dashboard. So first things first, let's look at requests sent for this account. If I click and expand this drop down, I can look at different date ranges in which this machine, as I like to call it, has been running for me and requesting reviews. So let's see, the last 2 weeks, actually, let me go back to the last 30 days. We can then see, last 7 days, the review requests that have been sent for me. Now, keep in mind, this isn't me logging in. We even have a Chrome extension where you can do bulk requests and those types of things. This is truly where I've enabled this feature, and it's just doing this for me. This is what this graph reflects. So based on the sales volume, because that's where you see some of the peaks and valleys in this graph, it's going to determine how many review requests go out. Kind of intuitive, right? So if I have poor sales, I can't request reviews from people that aren't buying my product. But as they come in, we can see sent requests where review request has gone out, send a TOS compliant email, an Amazon branded email to this customer to request that review. Simple and as easy as that. And again, you can monitor this over time. So now with that 30-day window, I love this visual too, because this gives you an idea of no feature, no use of review request, 0 customers automatically receiving a TOS compliant review request. And then boom, all of a sudden it's been turned on this account. And now we see all of this activity. Never a missed opportunity when a sale is realized for a TOS compliant review request to go out fully automated. So this is really as a hub where you can see that activity, monitor those requests being sent out, and again, completely in an automated fashion.
Troy, I have a question, man. So the email that gets sent is the same email that Amazon, as you mentioned, Amazon's branded email where they have their template, essentially, right? This is the one. So we don't have even to set a template, right? They provide it for us, kind of thing, right? For our product, of course.
Yep, that's correct. Nothing that you have to edit or drop any logos or any branding in that. And that's really the beauty of it too. It obviously has the trust and authority of coming from Amazon, then it's automatically triggered. So then that way too, you're not managing any of this in here, or let's say you're accustomed using buyer-seller messaging. You're worried about customers that have opted out. We know that that's a massive issue with buyer-seller messaging on the scale of 50% of buyers opting out of those messages. You get sort of a fresh start here where, since that strategy is really it hasn't aged well, this is a really great fresh start of now you get the Amazon branding. There's no emails you have to manage or update, and then you can automatically have those triggered and sent.
Pretty cool, man.
Awesome.
Understood.
So now that we've enabled this feature, this is where we can get into how we filter down, as we would like, the type of review requests that are sent. Now, first, we've got global matching rules. These are rules that are applied to all orders within your account. Now, this is a marketplace that was synced for Amazon US. We can dictate whether orders that come via FBA or FBM or combination of the two, have those selected. Then we can add these additional filters for exclusion of orders, let's say based on this first filter here of seller feedback. So let's say a buyer has come in, already left a 2-star seller feedback. These are probably customers we don't want to be asking for review requests from. Again, totally up to you. But in terms of the likelihood of maybe the insight, that the relative value of that review, you may say, well, let's hold off. Let's exclude those orders. And you can do that easily by selecting each appropriate filter. And as we do that, as we add those filters, and you can see those 3 are already added to my account, they're going to be added to my filters applied. You can see here 1, 2, and 3 stars from that seller feedback have already been added. And then we've got additional filters here for promotion discounts. So if it's a discounted purchase, a subscribe and save discount has been added, or a shipping discount has been added, we can exclude orders that meet that criteria from review requests. We have buyer type, so B2B or B2C, can update that as needed. Purchase count. Now, this is really cool, where we can exclude if a customer is maybe making their first purchase. We can exclude this at the global level. We'll touch on this a little bit further down. We can do this at the product level. But what's really cool about this too is, think about, let's say you're coming out with a brand new product line, and you're wanting to be very safe, but a customer is coming back and kind of voting with their dollars. They're coming back and buying your products twice. Great opportunity to then request that review from that type of customer. And again, this is at the global level, so this will be all orders. We'll touch on how we can do this product specific a little bit further down. And then we've got return and refunds. Now, very similar to seller feedback, a customer has returned a product, interested in a refund. They may not be the best customer to request reviews from. So this is really up to you in terms of how you set that up. But these options are available to select or deselect returned or refunded orders. And then lastly, we have wallet processed orders. This is where we tie in the Seller.Tools wallet. If we look at any orders where you have processed them through the wallet, you can include by default or exclude by selecting that button there, and customize that as needed. As I'll touch on a little bit later, we have the ability to trigger this review request via ManyChat, similarly in a completely terms of service, a compliant manner. So this just gives you a little bit more control on how you use the review requests.
Troy, so we can exclude what we don't want. So for example, we can exclude people who refunded, who returned products, or who left seller feedback with different stars. So for example, somebody left 3-star, and it would be not the best, or maybe not the smartest thing to ask them for a review. They left a bad feedback, they're not happy, and here you're asking them again, they probably are gonna be not happy still, right?
Right.
And so we can set it all up in this part. And also I have a question, man, which other marketplaces it works with? Could I see that my audience here on YouTube comes from different countries, and maybe they're selling different countries as well?
We'll cover major EU marketplaces, North American marketplaces. It's all available for that right now.
All right. And probably with time would hopefully get it to new markets as well.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. I see, man. Understood.
Awesome. So once we set our global matching rules, we can then scroll down, and as we would like, we can then set product matching rules. So within our account, if we want to treat one product differently than another, what we can do, and as they're added, we can of course find those here. So we can see my special garlic press or garlic press stainless steel. We can set those repeat counts. And by that, we mean repeat purchase counts. And we can do the similar type of filtering here, to where if we want to exclude, now very similarly to the global matching rules, these are exclusion filters. So if we want to exclude purchase 1 and make sure that purchase 2 and 3, we would request reviews, we would just add that filter and then apply and save it, and make sure that any subsequent review requests going out require a customer to go beyond that first purchase. And again, my really great use case for that is if I'm launching a brand new product, I'm just not, sure, I'm confident in it, but how is my audience, how is the Amazon Amazon buyer going to interact with it, enjoy it? If there's uncertainty, maybe I just hedge my bets a little bit and wait until they come back and repurchase. Obviously the category dependent there, product considerations, but that control is really what it boils down to. You have the ability to set this again for each individual product in your account, or let global rules dictate what takes place there. One important note, product matching rules will override global matching rules. Kind of intuitive there. If you set something at the product level, that's what's put in place. And then what's left there for the global matching rules, we will take over.
Yeah, and I really like the idea with the, as you mentioned, new product, and you're not too sure what's going on. So you only ask for reviews from a person who buys again, right? Because yeah, if you're getting a 1-star review on your launch, man, it sucks. Like really,
Yeah.
if you're maybe you have 5 reviews and have 4 or 5 stars and 1 star, it drops your rating to like 3.9 maybe, or something like that. You can find yourself in that place, and yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true. It can torpedo your launch. You're getting those first 10, 20 reviews, and then you get those 1 or 2, 1 and 2 stars. It is just absolutely killer, because then it can dictate, when there's so few voices or pieces of reviews for a prospective customer to make sense of, it can just absolutely torpedo a launch. So that's a great point. You may come in here, play it safe, and then kind of ease off a little bit, remove that filter as you see it really taking off. Cool. Awesome. Now, once those filters are set, you can now schedule your actions. And by this, we mean what's the timing in which those review requests are sent? Now, this is triggered by Amazon, and the range that we have, the control that we have, is also dictated by Amazon. This is, again, what makes us so TOS friendly, is that we're playing all within Amazon's rules, guidance, and the controls that they put in place. So we can schedule this action based on the Pacific Standard Time Zone, which of course is matches Amazon. We can then dictate the time, so the time of day in which our review requests are sent. So let's say we wanted to do, early morning. We can set 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then we can dictate the days after delivery. So important point here. This is the trigger is when the product is delivered, when it's at your customer's doorstep. Then from there, Amazon gives us the ability to set a date between 5 and 30 days. This is, again, where you think about your product, your category, when your customer is going to get the best, maybe the greatest benefit from your product, and then timing your review requests from there. Is it something where immediately they're going to see, wow, as they open it, as they interact with it, as they use your product? Or is this, a supplement as an example, where you may want to give them 2 weeks, 3 weeks, some amount of product use, regular use, for them to hopefully then give you some great feedback in the form of a review. So we can then schedule it, apply and save it, and then you are good to go.
I have a question about the part in the bottom. So we have the time where we set the review request, for example, 9 a.m. PST. Do you have any best practices for the time? Because I remember from learning email marketing and actually trying it out, but not on Amazon, because here at least I couldn't really track too much the open rates and everything. I remember it was like 10 a.m., 11, but again, it depends, I guess, on the customers. So how would we, or should we play with it? Should we test it out? Is there a way really to understand when is it better or not?
Yeah, no, you bring up a good point. I would say there hasn't been a best practice we formalized just yet, but we are testing it on our active accounts. And I would encourage that. Now, my inclination in terms of working with PST and maybe thinking about, our brands are very US focused, is thinking about trying to get it in a customer's hands kind of early in the morning, so that we ensure that it's kind of sitting in their inbox and something that they can, something that they can hop in there and take full advantage of. One thing you'll want to keep in mind, the days after delivery, because that can be a little bit fluid. And obviously this feature is on the other side of substantial shipping delays, delivery delays, that sometimes that can change. It really emphasizes testing more of the time of day, for sure, in my opinion. So that's really the way that I would approach it, is really analyze, think about, and you can analyze your own reviews, other similar products in your account, and seeing, maybe when the best time, the gauge for that review request when it goes out. But my starting place for our own accounts has really been kind of early in that PST time zone.
Yeah, that's what I found best also in like email marketing through other channels. that I did or do, that is morning time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Sitting right there in somebody's inbox. Maybe they've got their morning coffee. You know, they're a little bit happier for the day. They're not, you know, they're not as tired. We can again speculate and assume. We could be there watching them, hopefully opening our emails. But that's my same default. As sort of a best practice in and of itself, is leaning towards a little bit earlier in the day. Now, I would love it if we could get people, you know, Fridays, weekends, same thing, where a lot of people are happy. You know, maybe they're thinking the most positively, relatively speaking, for their week. But testing that can really then see what your performance looks like.
I understand, man. Cool.
Awesome. Now, that is review request sort of in a nutshell. And the way that I love to describe it too is it literally takes longer to explain it than it does to utilize it. And that's really the beauty of a feature like this, right? Where we turn it on, set our filters, and then watch the machine run and send out those review requests for us. And that's really the beauty of a feature like this.
Nice, man. And also one more question, man, is when these are sent, can we track the open rate? We cannot, right? We cannot really track, like, yet, at least. Amazon does not give us such information, right? We can only know that it was sent, but was it clicked on? Was it left? Was a review left? We don't have such an access, right, to such information for now, at least.
That's true. That's on my wish list. I would love it if they gave us those analytics, because that would just be, you know, great to have. But we don't have that right now. They've opened this up, it's sort of a really great big step, but we would love to have those analytics too, to see open, click through, review responses.
Well,
but maybe,
gotta
who knows?
that you can feel it, man. Like, you can feel it when you're using features like this review request, and when you have like a volume of orders, like they come in. Like, I can't tell you exactly, but yes, definitely it's better than not using it. You can see ratings come in, reviews. Good.
Yeah, absolutely. And to keep in mind, one of the images I shared on the slide deck of 7,000 reviews, it brings to mind for some of our own brands at Seller.Tools, you know, we've got products that have 5,000, 6,000, you know, these large quantity of reviews. And when we did this similarly, where we had nothing, essentially nothing set up here, and then we turned it on, you could literally see the review hike. It was just very slow incremental, and then it was just a steady increase. And so there's a beauty of this, of it really just doing the work for you, and it just running in the background, capturing those reviews. Awesome. So that is review requests in a nutshell. And what's really exciting too is that we really wanted to make this accessible to sellers at any level. It is available on our light plan, our lowest tier plan. So that way, if you are just getting started selling this week, or you're, you know, doing 8 figures a year, the value of a review, we sort of wanted to have the investment match almost the value of a single review. This is always a fun topic of assigning a dollar value to a review. Again, not to think of it in a black hat way, but just as an idea, right? What is that? Is it $50, $60, $70? You know, we get responses too as sellers really grow. You know, they're talking 100 reviews are just that important. So it's really a no-brainer. And that was really how we wanted to make this very accessible, very easy to use, again, at that light plan level. Now, we also brought this feature and its function over to ManyChat. And what's exciting right now for those leveraging ManyChat strategies, running Facebook ads, is there's a lot of post-US election. There's a bit of a hangover here where there's been a lot of issues, a lot of page bans, a lot of questions on compliance, a lot of terms of service. So this is a really big breath of fresh air for us to take this automated review request feature that's TOS compliant and then drop it into ManyChat. And some of the beta feedback that we've been getting a lot from our ManyChat Seller.Tools experts, sellers that have been leveraging it, is they are relieved as well. It sort of answers that question of how can I safely, TOS compliantly, automatically request reviews in ManyChat. And it's really a very simple 2-step setup where we look and see, is that order, the order that we have from the customer, is it ready and review eligible? If so, we trigger and send that TOS compliant review request. Very similar to what we have in the app and in the dashboard, which is another way of managing this if you would like. But then we also have this option in ManyChat. And again, it's really, really simple to do. And if you're familiar with our native integration, Seller.Tools native integration with ManyChat, we now have actions in which we just, through a form, just pick what steps we want to complete, save them, and then they are done. And it then looks like this within ManyChat, where again, it's that two-step process. We'll check and see if a review request can be sent. Is it review eligible in Amazon's eyes? Again, we're using Amazon, their API for this, to do this in a terms of service compliant fashion. Is the eligibility there? So if a review request can be sent, and then if so, we will send a review request. Now, again, we're doing this in ManyChat. On the buyer side, this looks absolutely identical, exactly the same as if we were using the app. This just lets you as a seller know with your ManyChat flows and your ManyChat strategies that you are being on the up and up. You're being white hat with your review requests. Again, especially with everything going on where there's a lot of questions, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of concerns. This is a really, really great way to go the terms of service compliant route.
Troy, man, I got to say that for people who might not be familiar with ManyChat, because I know some people are watching and they might not be super familiar. So I have to tell that we have another video on the channel with Troy where we discussed, it's like a 1 hour pretty long tutorial of Seller.Tools, and where we talked about ManyChat. So for those who are not too sure what's going on here, I'm going to leave a link to that down in the description. Please watch it later on after this video, perhaps, to understand more. That can be helpful for those who are not too sure about these, the rules that we saw beforehand and all this stuff. But it's not that hard, like it might seem.
Yeah, no, it's a great point, and we wanted to make sure it was easy to leverage. Again, the kind of the best. If the only, again, this is us having fun with the idea of it really being a compliant way of incorporating that, integrating that into ManyChat too. And to your point, in terms of making it easy, all of our free ManyChat flows, again, that you can check out in the other video that we did together, will be updated with this function. So those are free ManyChat flows, absolutely no obligation to review them, to import them into your account. Any of those that utilize a review request will be updated. And so again, you can get access to those at Seller.Tools/ManyChat flows. So that really ensures that, you've got everything that you need. We know building flows is the most time intensive, often confusing aspect of using more advanced strategies. But with these free flows, with the strategy that's built out, with the ranking and review focus, and now with them fully integrated with these steps, you'll see them here again of checking if a review request can be sent, and then sending a review request, those two steps added into our free flows as well. We, again, wanted to make it super easy to get started, and then also update your flows if you are seeing the promise and the opportunity here with this setup.
Nice, man. Pretty cool.
Cool. Awesome. So that's how it's set up on the ManyChat side. That's how it's set up within the app. Again, as we touched on, it literally takes longer to explain it than it does to probably get your first. I mean, it's just so quick and easy to configure and get going. So this feature is available for free in our trial. So you can use it on the light plan via the app. Utilizing it through ManyChat will require the starter level plan because you'll need the API. So you have either option at your disposal to be able to take full advantage. But with the free trial, again, you can kind of get started. You can kind of get those initial reviews to where if you continue to leverage this feature, it can really pay for itself. So that's what's really, really cool about it. What we're most excited about it for too.
Yeah, man. And also see your group here, FBA Kings. I'm going to have a link to your group. Also your LinkedIn, if people want to contact you, I guess if it's fine, right? To contact you maybe directly if they have a question about Seller.Tools. And also even an affiliate link to get this 14-day free trial. Oh, and you popped up the next slide. And for those who want to get a discount also for the Seller.Tools, you have VOVA20, which gives you 20% off any plan. And again, that's an affiliate link. It means that if you ever use the coupon or the link and you do business with Troy, I'm going to get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. It's just a way to support my free content here if you want. I really appreciate that if you do. And yeah, here's a cool discount that I was able to ask Troy to share with us here on the channel. And yeah.
Yeah, no, excited to share it. And then you can think about too how that savings applies to whether the light plan makes sense to you, the starter plan. We just wanted to make it easy and a no-brainer for a lot of sellers to take advantage. It makes it very exciting coming into this new year of sort of a gift. It was an olive branch from Amazon of here's a way to, like I said, if we had that magic wand, we would have this number of years ago to where we could flip a switch, set a few filters, and then let a machine run for us, even more so than how other processes have evolved where we can do bulk review requests. Those are great, but they don't quite meet our 100% automation where you don't even have to log back into Seller.Tools. You can come back in 2 weeks time and just let it do its thing. You don't have to set anything else up or make any tweaks. It's in the background working for you.
Yeah, man, pretty cool. Yeah, as we talked before the call, I explained to you that I'm using like a bulk review requests, which is still nice, but I gotta get back and do that, and I forget sometimes, to be honest, and then you lose the potential reviews. That's what really sucks about it, because as you mentioned in the video, there's 5 to 30-day window of asking for reviews. So for example, 30-day window for some specific orders passed away, if you can say that. And then, yeah, you can't do that anymore. So yeah, you just lose this little opportunity. So yeah, from experience, I'm saying that I forgot, and either write it down on the wall or something for yourself, or just automate it. Yeah, could be.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. Yeah, it's kind of like it phases out once you lose that window and opportunity. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's other ways in which you can follow up with a customer, but this is the cleanest, simplest. It's the most direct way, safest way to do it as well.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming today. Here on the screen, I'll leave the end screen for our previous video so people can click here and watch to go to the video where we talked more about ManyChat. And yeah, man, Troy, thank you for your time today, man. Exciting video, good stuff. And hopefully sellers get more reviews, more sales, and we can have a great 2021 here.
That sounds great. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on. Excited to share this and always appreciate it.
Thank you, man.